It's Monday, and I know Alex will be watching this video, and Tiffany will be watching this video to catch up. I'm sure you all noticed that today we're doing integer review, and your homework is just going to be the front side of your homework. Just the front side. You don't need to look at the back. Don't look at the back. Why not? It's going to scare you. Okay, Alex topics restart on Monday. I have not put in your Alex grade. I'll do that once you guys are in fourth period. Okay, can everybody find this page in their notebook? We glued it a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. So, turn back. This page. Oh, I'm having a flashback from yesterday. I'm having a flashback. We're good? You have it?
Laughing Eagles.
Okay, you should have adding and subtracting filled in.
Are we doing the subtract the division and the multiplication today?
Yep, that's why we're here. So you should have adding and subtracting. Okay. Now for multiplying and dividing. I'll be honest with you, I don't know what the blanks are. I can't figure out what the blanks are, so we're going to leave it blank.
Ooh, I don't know. Multiplying or dividing into
Go for it. And let me know when you figure it out. Okay. We are going to do this. We're going to write this down. Let me change to... Okay. Same signs equal a positive. Different signs equal a negative. Okay, so to me, for multiplying and dividing, there's a couple ways to remember what multiplying and dividing are. So same sign will give you a positive, and a different sign will give you a negative. So we're going to write that down, because I honestly don't know what the blanks are. I didn't create this foldable, so I don't know what the author was thinking when they made all these blanks. So otherwise known as same sign, positive, different sign, negative. You can also trust in the superhero of Dorito Man.
Dorito. I don't like him. I'm not Dorito.
Why not Dorito woman?
Dorito person. Dorito person. With or without pigtails.
Why is it not an animal?
Oh, I want pigtails on mine.
Dorito mammal?
Sure.
I guess.
Bee person.
If you tell me why it's not a... What's the opposite of a mammal? What's a non-mammal?
Reptile.
Reptile.
Are birds a mammal?
Dorito reptile.
Yeah.
Because they lay eggs.
Yeah.
Aquatic.
So next time you're with your science teacher, you will ask them what makes a mammal, and what makes a non-mammal
Yeah,
non-mammal.
right here.
And then you come back and tell me.
Oh, we have some
mine
time
looks
next
cool.
year.
Okay, same sign positive, different sign negative, or the good old Dorito person. All right, so here you have it. It's the same thing for division. So this says if this is a negative times a negative, it's going to equal a positive. So these two are negative symbols. These two negative symbols, if you multiply them, you get a positive. If you have a positive times a positive, of course you're going to stay a positive. Those stay the same. And then if you have different signs, a negative and a positive gives you a negative, and a positive times a negative also gives you a negative. Are these the same rules for division? Yes. A negative divided by a negative is going to give you a positive. And if I have a positive divided by a negative, that's going to give me a negative. So if it's the same it's going to give you a positive. If it's different, it's going to give you a negative. Or you can use the Dorito chip. Dorito should sponsor us.
Miss, I saw the word.
Let's see if Dylan gets it. Yes.
Why can't we just like one day bring the Dorito and put edible markers, and we can just do it with the Dorito?
So what I'm hearing is that Mel's going to bring us bags of Doritos and edible markers, and we're going to have a Dorito festival. That's what I heard.
A Dorito person.
Okay, multiply, divide or multiply like you normally would. Then use the signs below to determine if the answer is positive or negative. Yes, Dorito Man can help.
See, Miss, I just feel different.
You figured it out. All right. Let's go into writing a couple of notes down. One area that I saw some students struggle with last week is what happens when you have more than two numbers.
Easy.
Yeah?
You wait for the.
For multiplying and dividing.
You really like a book.
So, for example, if I have negative 2 times negative 3 times negative 4. Thank you. Okay. If I have negative 2 times negative 3 times negative 4. A lot of confusion last week. Is my answer going to be negative? Is my answer going to be positive?
Negative. Positive.
Why?
Negative. Because negative 2 times 3, 2 negative equals positive. Positive times 2 negative equals a negative.
Done. All right.
I like the frog way.
So there were a couple ways to do this. I taught you one way last week where these two negatives, right? I did teach you this. Right? These two negatives give you what? So this gives you a positive, right? Then you end up with this. What's a positive times a negative? These two give you a negative, right? So it's like these two pair up and they become a positive, and then we're going to multiply it by a negative, so it ends up being a negative at the end. And then what's 2 times 3 times 4?
2 times 3, 6, 6,
Is that an X or is that a T?
Negative 24.
A T?
On the next to E. No.
E?
Up there.
Oh, that's a G.
Oh.
E.
I got it.
R.
Negative
S.
24.
Negative 24. Very good. Good job. All right. And then I'm like, gosh, because right here, once you have two numbers, you can use the Dorito Man. Once you have two numbers, then you can use the Dorito Man. If you have three numbers, you can't use the Dorito Man. You can only use the Dorito Man when you have two numbers. All right, so then I thought, okay, how can I help my students understand this better? All right, let's do the same problem. How many numbers have a negative sign? How many numbers have a negative sign? 3. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 negative signs, right? Is 3 odd or even? Odd. So the rule says if you have an odd number of negatives, your answer is going to be negative. Odd, it's going to be, odd is going to be negative. Odd is going to be negative. What are odd numbers? 1, 3.
5, 7. Number that can be divided.
Alright. 15 is also odd. Odd are numbers that can't be divided by 2. Very good. So if you have an odd number of negatives, your answer is going to be negative. No matter which number is bigger, smaller, which one came first, which one came last. Odd numbers, like this. How many were odd here? 1, 2, 3. 3 is odd, so my answer is negative.
No, we can divide by 2.
What do you mean?
5 divided by 2 equals 4.5.
5 divided by 2 is 2.5. What if I have an even number, even number of positives. That's going to give you a positive answer. Even number. What are even numbers?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
Woo!
Basically, the 2 is a 2 times
2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Math. See? Glad you agree with me, Chris. So if you have an even amount of positives, 2, 4, 6, 8, so on, then your answer is going to be positive. Again, it doesn't matter which was bigger, smaller, which one came first, which one came last. If you have an even amount. Why are we going over this? Well, on the worksheet from Friday, you had these problems that had 3 numbers involved. And I saw a lot of mistakes here. I saw a lot of mistakes where some of you were writing positive answers and some of you were writing negative answers. And maybe this will help clarify when is my answer positive and when is my answer negative. So for example, let's use that information that we just learned. If I give you -3 times -2, how many of these numbers are negatives? How many of these numbers are negative? 2. Is that even or odd?
Odd.
2?
Even.
Even. So even means it's going to be
Even. Positive.
even. So even number, it's going to be
Positive.
positive. So positive 6. Or you can use a Dorito method. Okay? But if I give you this problem, -1 times -1 times -1 times -1 times -1.
Oh, easy.
5.
Negative. How many negative ones?
How many negative numbers are there? How many negative numbers are there?
Negative 2.
No.
Juliana?
I got a question.
What's up?
How did that plus sign appear on this like at the top left of 6?
This one? Because a negative times a negative is equal to a positive. So these two negatives cross out and I'm left with a positive symbol. And I wrote it down. Usually we don't write positives, right? But I wrote it down to like emphasize, to make it a point for you, all of you, that this answer would be positive. So, how many numbers are negative?
5.
5. Do you guys see the 5 negative numbers?
Yeah.
So if I go here, is 5 odd or is it even? It's odd. So my answer is going to be negative. So my answer is going to be negative. So there's my negative. And then what's 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1?
5. 1.
1.
Negative 1 I meant.
Negative 1.
So you missed that.
Go slow. No need to rush on these. Okay, I'm going to give you guys 4 problems.
Are we in my worksheet today?
Yep. These 4 problems are very similar to what you're going to have to do on the worksheet.
No.
So let's copy down these 4 problems and see if you're ready for the worksheet.
Top one easy to bottom one hard.
How am I supposed to divide? Oh, and then 3.
So these are the same numbers, right? -4 and 2, -4 and 2. But for some, I want you to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. The same 2 numbers. So you have to use the 4 different rules. You can use a Dorito Man if you want.
Miss, I forgot how to divide.
Set timer for 2 minutes. All right, 30 seconds per problem. Can you do it? Can you add, subtract, multiply, and divide these 2 numbers?
Oh, positive 2. Please be positive 2. Is that negative 2 or positive 2?
They're all positive 2s. They're all positive 2s to start with.
I forgot to divide.
How many groups of 2 can you make with 4?
2. I think it's a positive.
Now use the Dorito Man.
-6. I think they're all like 2. I mean, 8.
The 2 answers are the same and 2 answers are different. 2 answers are the same and 2 answers are different.
Well, for the bottom right one, do you make 2 Dorito men?
No, you only make. Oh, you can do it separate, or you can just use your fingers to cover up. Actually, it will be the same. You only need 1 Dorito Man, I guess.
I got 3 answers the same. The last one I got -2.
Yeah.
The second, the -4 -2, I got 2 negative. Oh, -2.
Keep change opposite.
Oh, yeah. For the last one, 6.
Only 2 answers should match. Only 2 answers should match.
Oh, yes, and the division is 2 positive. It's a negative. I don't know.
All right, Oscar, can you give me the first answer? What's -4 plus 2?
It's -2.
Very good. Good. Kiara, do you know what -4 minus 2 is? Good job. So this one you had to do -4 plus -2, which does give you -6. Good job. All right, Tadeo, what is -4 times 2?
-8.
Good job. And what's our last answer?
-2.
-2. You could have used a Dorito Man for the last 2, and you would still get the same answer of a negative. All right, good. All right. I'm going to try to publish this assignment today. I didn't do it for second period, but they know it's coming. All right. So, for this pink worksheet, I would suggest you have this available to you and your multiplication table. You're going to be doing all 4 operations. All 4 operations.
They were back down what?
I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Both sides?
You're only going to do 3 from the back. Front side's going to take us a minute.
Which one's the front?
Why did this flash?
Hold on the left.
Oh.
Don't worry about the back until we're there. Okay. So, the pink paper has all 4 operations. If you want to do all the addition ones first, all the subtraction ones, or if you just want to go in order, it's up to you. We already have answers, so we can check. Go slow.